Hey, this is Garrett with Sympliact, and in this video we're going to look at configuring our notes templates and using those within the application. So I'm sitting on the dashboard here of my iPad. At the bottom menu I can see the Notes application, the second from the right. So I'm going to click on the Notes application. Within the Notes application I've got three panels here, my folders to the left, the exam templates folder in the middle here with all my exam templates, and to the right I've selected the top template, which is implant exam, which is shown. So if I open the entire view back up, we'll start in the left folders menu. So in that folders menu, I can see at the bottom left there's an icon that would allow me to create a new folder if I wanted to. And at the top right, there's an edit button that if we click, allows us to move temp folders around if we want to, allows us to click on a menu and make changes to the folder, rename, etc. if we want to. For now, I'm going to leave everything as is. I've got the miscellaneous kind of out-of-the-box folders, but then I've created one folder for my exam templates, one folder for my surgery templates. That's what we'll look at next. So you can obviously create folders for however works best for your schedule. In my case, I've got a schedule block set aside to where I'm doing exams and post-ops usually together, and then a second surgery block of schedule where I'm doing my surgery. So I have mine broken into exam and surgery, but clearly that can be different based on how your schedule works. Within this middle section, actually I'm just going to collapse the folder menu. So we're now in the exam templates folder. On the left side of the screen, there's a menu at the top right with the three little dots. I'm going to open that. Within this menu, the main thing that I suggest doing is on the sort by category. I sort everything by the title of the note and in ascending order. So it's essentially going to be in alphabetical order. That allows me to, based on what I know my template's named, I can quickly find where it is in the list. So clearly you don't have to do that, but that's worked well for most folks. So I'm going to close that menu. The other thing we'll notice in this folder is that I've got some notes pinned to the top. So there's a pinned section, which is in alphabetical order, and then a bottom section of unpinned notes. So what the reasoning behind this, the pinned section are going to be the notes that I'm using on a very frequent basis. The bottom unpinned notes are going to be notes, templates that we still want access to, obviously, but things that are less common and that I'm going to be using less frequently, so I don't want those creating a distraction or making it more difficult to find the more common notes that I'm going to be jumping in and out of. So that's it in the folder itself. If we jump over to the template itself, main thing I want to look at in this screen is the top right. There's four icons at the top right. We're going to look mainly at three of those. The first one is the send icon, so the fourth from the right. I'm going to click on that. And within this icon or this menu, the main thing we're going to be using is the copy functionality that you see there, and we'll look at how that works in just a second. So I'm going to click out of that menu. I'm going to jump two icons over to the three dot menu, and I'm going to open that. The main thing within this menu that we want to look at is there's three icons across the top of this menu. So scan, in this case unpin, and lock. And the main thing is that pin unpin functionality. So this is where you would come for a note template that is, again, one that you want the quickest, most common access to, and you can elect to pin or unpin that note. In this case, we're in one of our common templates, so it's already pinned. But if we click down into one that's not, and we go back to that same menu, you can see that it now allows us to pin that note if we want to, that middle option. And then the third icon we're going to look at up here in the top right is that one that's furthest to the right, and that's essentially how you would create a new note within this folder. So if I create that, or if I hit that, it's going to create a new note. Then I can start typing in or paste a template into however I want to populate that note, and then that's added to my folder. In this case, I don't really want that note, so I'm going to delete it. The way to do that is that second icon from the right at the top. We'll click that three-dot menu, and towards the bottom here is the delete option. So we'll delete it and remove that from our templates. Okay, last thing we're going to look at is now how we use this in our daily clinical flows with the application. So at the very top middle of this notes application, you see three little dots. I'm going to click on those, and it opens a menu, and it's currently full screen is currently selected. But what I'm going to select is the slide over option. So the third option down. And now it's going to pull that over to the right side of my screen. And then I'm going to come back down to the center bottom, and I'm going to open the Chrome browser. And now you can see that those are kind of overlaid, and the exam templates folder is kind of hovering over the Chrome browser. And I can hide that at any time, and I can expand that. So all I'm doing to hide it is I'm touching the screen with my finger on the left side of that exam templates folder, and I'm just swiping to the right. And then anytime I want to bring that back into view, I'm clicking the right side of my screen with my finger and sliding to the left, and it will open it back up. I can navigate back to my folders, I can navigate to my surgery templates, and then clearly I can click in to any of those templates. So in this case, how we'll use that, we're in a thread for John Roberts. The thread's titled Extraction 230. So let's say I've just performed the procedure to remove tooth 30. I would then swipe from the right side of my screen to the left. Open my templates. Most of the time I'm probably going to be sitting in this main surgery templates folder. I'd find the template that I want to use, in this case simple extraction, click on that. I'm going to click on the send icon at the top right, second from the right. I'm going to hit copy. I'm going to collapse or close my notes app. I'm going to click into my notes field, Command V to paste. I'm going to remove that title. I'm going to go to my placeholders, in this case the 4X's. These are areas that I definitely need to fill out, but there may be other things I need to amend to, but depending on the particular case. Let's say we just gave him 10 Norco. But once I've done that, I submit that note, and now I've got a procedure note on that thread, and I've documented my care. So that's how to get your templates populated to the notes application, how to then configure the notes application, or at least some common ways of configuring them. Again, if there's ways that work better for you, you don't have to do it exactly like I just showed you, but those are common ways that seem to work well for folks. And then how we would interact with that notes application during our normal care delivery with patients. So hopefully this all makes sense. But as always, questions, comments, don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks. Bye.